Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're opening up a file that is kind of a survival guide for a very specific and, let's be honest, often tumultuous phase of parenting.
Ah, yes.
I'm talking about the teen years.
Yeah.
The era of, sudden growth spurts, the mood swings you can't explain, and that constant losing battle over screen time.
Exactly. And when we talk about surviving that era, say from, 13 to 21, we usually focus on the big things.
Right, driving lessons.
Driving lessons, oh my gosh, yes.
Yes.
Or, high school drama, or just trying to get them to eat a vegetable that isn't a potato chip.
Right.
But we have a stack of material here today from my gentle dentist, Arana Hills, and it points to this hidden source of stress.
Mm-hmm.
And it's drawing on the expertise of Dr. Deepak Parwani.
Okay.
And it's not their grades, it's not their curfew, it's their teeth.
It's a huge blind spot for parents. You sort of think you're done with the hard part. The baby teeth are gone, the tooth fairy is retired.
But biologically, adolescence is probably the most volatile time for dental health. The stakes are they're so much higher than when they were 5.
So our mission for this deep dive is to unpack this Arana Hills guide to teen dental wellness. We're going to decode 3 pillars it identifies. Wisdom teeth.
The dreaded ones.
Yes. And the surprisingly high-stakes world of sports safety, and then the confidence game of orthodontics.
And weaving through all of that is this really crucial theme we need to explore, which is the shift in philosophy. I mean, how dentistry has moved from that scary, white-knuckle experience some of us remember.
Oh, absolutely.
To this modern, gentle approach, because getting a moody 16-year-old to the dentist is hard enough without them being terrified.
I was reading this and just thinking, okay, where was all this tech when I was a kid? It feels like a different world. So let's jump in. The first pillar. The source uses a term that it really caught my attention. It calls the late teens the shark years.
This vivid image, isn't it?
A little ominous. But we're not talking about Shark Week here. We're talking about what's lurking, beneath the gum line.
Right. Shark years is a perfect metaphor because, just like a shark, the trouble is often invisible until it breaks the surface. We're talking about the third molar's wisdom teeth. The guide says 17 to 21 is the peak danger zone, but, and this is a key insight from Dr. Parwani, the pain can actually start much earlier.
That was the first wait a minute moment I had. I think most parents just assume if the kid isn't complaining about a toothache, everything's fine.
Silence means safety.
Yeah, but the source suggests silence is actually the problem.
It really is.
Yeah.
By the time a teenager actually complains about pain, some damage might already be done. You have to picture what's happening. These teeth are way back in the jaw, and as they try to erupt, they often just run out of room.
That's impaction.
Right, it's
Yeah.
impaction. They can come in sideways, they can push against other molars, or they can just get stuck halfway.
The guide lists some specific red flags that I found really interesting because they're not just a toothache. I mean, pain at the back of the jaw is number one, obviously.
Sure.
But it also lists unexplained headaches. How does a tooth cause a headache?
It's all about pressure. Think of the jaw like a crowded elevator. When that new tooth tries to shove its way in, it puts this massive pressure on the bone and the other teeth.
Oh.
And that tension, it just radiates. It can travel right up to trigeminal nerve. So you might have a teen complaining about migraines, and you're thinking it's screen time or eyesight, but the real culprit is buried in their jawbone.
Wow. It also mentions difficulty opening the mouth.
Yes, trismus. It's basically a low-grade lockjaw. The inflammation from the tooth affects the chewing muscles. So if your teen is suddenly struggling to eat a burger, that is a huge neon sign pointing to wisdom teeth trouble.
Now, here's the psychological twist. The source talks about the fear. It says teens will often actively hide these symptoms.
This is a huge barrier. You have to remember, to a teenager, wisdom teeth equals surgery.
Right. Loss of control.
Exactly. They have this horror movie scenario in their head,
Yeah.
waking up with chipmunk cheeks, pain.
Mm-hmm.
So they just ignore the jaw ache. They rationalize the headache. Anything to avoid facing it.
And that avoidance is actually dangerous.
Extremely. While they're hiding the pain, that impacted tooth can be causing cysts, destroying the molar next to it, or starting a massive infection. Delay is the enemy.
So how do you break that standoff? This is where the specific technology at my gentle dentist Arana Hills comes in. The guide talks a lot about the OPG machine.
The orthopantomogram.
I am so glad you said that, not me. Let's just stick with OPG. Why is this machine such a big deal?
Okay, so we're all used to those little bite wing x-rays, right? You bite down on that uncomfortable piece of plastic.
Yeah, it digs into your mouth.
And it takes a picture of maybe 3 or 4 teeth. That's useless for this. An OPG is a panoramic scanner. It rotates around your head and captures everything, the entire jaw, the joints, the sinuses, every single tooth deep in the bone.
So it's the Google Earth view versus a street view.
Perfect analogy. But the real deep dive insight here isn't just the machine itself. It's that Dr. Porwani has it on site.
Why does that matter so much?
Think about that anxiety loop. In a normal practice, the dentist says, might be wisdom teeth. Go to the radiology lab across town, get a scan, and come back next week.
A whole week for the teen to stress out.
A whole week to Google horror stories and watch YouTube videos and just panic. By the time they come back, their cortisol levels are through the roof.
Whereas at the Arana Hills clinic,
It's instant. The dentist says, let's step into the next room and take a picture. 3 minutes later, the image is on the screen. The teen, the parent, the dentist, all looking at it together.
it demystifies the monster.
Exactly. It turns mystery surgery into, oh, look, that tooth is stuck. We just need to move it.
And the guide busts a major myth here, too. We all think wisdom teeth removal means a hospital visit.
General anesthesia, the whole ordeal.
Right, but the source says that if you catch it early, thanks to that OPG,
Yes.
a lot of these can be done right there in the chair with just local anesthetic.
No hospital, no general anesthetic hangover. It becomes a procedure, not an operation. That shift in language is massive for a teen.
That has to be huge relief for parents, too. Okay, so we've navigated the shark years. Let's move to the second pillar. And I have to say, the numbers in this section, they genuinely shock me. We're talking sports safety.
This is where that penny-wise, pound-foolish mentality really hurts families.
The source sets up this clear conflict. On one side, the custom-fitted mouth guard from the dentist. On the other, the boil and bite guard from the chemist.
We all know that one. That block of plastic you drop in hot water, burn your tongue on, and it ends up feeling like a chewed-up dog toy.
The source is pretty savage about them. It calls them bulky, uncomfortable, and loose. But, I mean, is it really that big a difference? Plastic is plastic, right?
That's the dangerous assumption. The primary failure of the boil and bite is that loose factor. A mouthguard only works if it stays on your teeth without you having to bite down on it.
Because if you're playing rugby, you aren't clenching your teeth the whole time.
Exactly. You're running, yelling, breathing hard. If you have to bite down to keep your guard in, you can't get enough oxygen. So what does the kid do?
Takes it out, chews on it.
Chews on it like gum. And that's always the moment they take an elbow to the face. A mouthguard in your hand provides zero protection.
Let's get into the physics of this, because the source mentioned concussion protection. How does plastic in your mouth prevent a brain injury?
This is so critical. When you take a blow to the chin, that force shoots straight up your jawbone.
Okay.
The jawbone acts like a hammer, and the base of your skull is the anvil. The impact slams them together, shaking the brain. That's a concussion.
So the mouth guard is the shock absorber.
Correct. A custom guard has a precise thickness and a suction fit. It creates a cushion. It separates the upper and lower jaw, and when that impact hits, the guard compresses and disperses the energy.
And a boil and bite doesn't do that?
Not really. It's
Yeah.
usually too thin right where you need the protection because the kid is bitten through it while trying to mold it. It offers almost no real shock absorption for the brain.
That makes the breathing argument even more important. The guide says custom guards let you speak and breathe clearly.
Well, think about fatigue. If a kid is struggling to breathe because of a bulky guard, they get tired faster. When you're tired, your form slips.
You don't brace for impact properly.
Exactly. So a bad mouth guard doesn't just fail to protect you, it actually makes you more likely to get hurt because you're oxygen starved.
I'd never considered that. It's a performance inhibitor.
100%.
But let's talk about the wallet. A chemist guard is, what, $20? A custom one is a real investment.
It is. But the source has a financial comparison that just stops you dead. It compares the cost of the guard to the cost of fixing a broken permanent tooth. What was the figure they cited?
It was $5,000 plus.
And honestly, I think that's conservative.
Really?
Absolutely. If a teen gets a front tooth knocked clean out, you're not just gluing it back in. You're looking at an emergency root canal, a crown, maybe a dental implant later on. And implants need maintenance for life. A single lost tooth at 16 could easily cost that family $10,000 to $15,000 over the next decade.
So the custom mouth guard is basically the cheapest insurance policy you can buy.
It's a complete no-brainer. You're gambling a lifetime of dental problems to save a couple of $100s now.
And we should mention, we're in Arana Hills. The guide lists Rugby, AFL, hockey, boxing, these are not low-risk sports.
No, this isn't competitive chess. The physical trauma is real, and no parent wants to see their kid go through facial reconstruction.
Yeah.
It's painful, it's scary, and it just destroys their confidence.
Which is the perfect segue to our third pillar. We've done safety, we've done surgery, now orthodontics, straight teeth.
This is where we shift from health and safety to psychology and long-term wellness.
The source outlines the options, traditional braces and clear aligners like Invisalign. But what I liked is they focused on the why. We tend to dismiss this as vanity, oh, you just want a Hollywood smile?
It's easy to be cynical. But for a teenager, that social world is everything. The source draws a direct line between a smile and self-esteem. If a kid is hiding their mouth when they laugh, that has a real developmental impact.
It stunts them socially.
It does. But there's a functional point here, too, that parents often miss. Straight teeth are cleaner teeth.
Cleaner. How?
Well, if your teeth are crowded and overlapping, there are all these little nooks and crannies a toothbrush can't reach.
Yeah.
Plaque builds up. That leads to decay and gum disease.
Right.
By straightening the teeth, you are engineering a mouth that is easier to maintain for the next 60 years. It's a preventative health measure.
So it's not just cosmetic.
Not at all. And a bad bite, or what we call malocclusion, also wears down teeth unevenly. So fixing the alignment now prevents chipped and worn teeth in their 40s.
The source emphasizes an assessment-first strategy, though. It's not a hard sell.
Which is important. Not every teen needs braces right away. Sometimes you want to wait for the jaw to finish growing. The approach seems to be about creating a roadmap. Do we need to intervene now, or can we just watch it?
And for the kids who do need it, the clear aligners really seem to be the game changer.
Massive. The metal mouth stigma is gone. They can take them out for photos. They can eat popcorn. It just removes so much of the social friction.
I want to circle back to something from the beginning. The name of the practice is My Gentle Dentist. And throughout all this material, there's this recurring theme of addressing anxiety.
It's the gentle philosophy. And it's not just marketing fluff. It seems to be their whole operational model.
They use words like non-judgmental. Why is that specific word so important?
Because people feel guilty, especially teens. They know they haven't been flossing. They know they drink too many energy drinks. If the first thing a dentist does is lecture them, they just shut down.
They never want to come back.
Exactly. Non-judgmental means, okay, we're starting from today. Let's fix it, not shame you.
And for the ones with the real phobia, they offer a specific tool. Happy gas.
Nitrous oxide. It's a classic, but it's kind of underutilized.
How does it actually work?
It's an anxiolytic. It dissolves anxiety.
Yeah.
You're awake, you can respond, but you don't really care. It creates this sense of distance from the fear.
That sounds perfect for the wisdom teeth scenario.
It's the bridge. If a teen is too scared to even open their mouth, the nitrous lets them relax. It also distorts time, so a 45-minute appointment can feel like 10 minutes. For an anxious teenager, that's a godsend.
It's all about removing barriers. The barrier of fear with the gas, the financial barrier of injury with the mouth guards. But there's one more barrier the source attacks head-on. Logistics.
The bane of every parent's existence.
The schedule. The source mentions their location, Arana Hills Plaza. But there's one detail that I think is the killer app of this clinic.
I think I know what you're going to say.
They are open on Saturdays.
That is rare and so incredibly valuable.
If you have a teenager, Monday to Friday is a war zone. School, then sports, then homework. Trying to pull a kid out of school for a dentist appointment.
It's a nightmare. The kid stresses about missing class. The parent stresses about leaving work. It adds so much tension before you even walk in the door.
By being open Saturdays, they're just acknowledging the reality of family life. It says, we fit into your life. You don't have to twist your life to fit us.
It removes the excuse.
Yeah.
You can't say, we don't have time.
So if you're in Arana Hills or North Brisbane and this is hitting home, the source gives the contact info. You can call them on 07-3506-1234 or just search My Gentle Dentist Arana Hills online.
And my advice based on this would be to ask for a teen checkup, even if nothing hurts.
Yes. Be proactive. Get that OPG scan. Check on the wisdom teeth before they become the shark ears.
And bring that mouth guard in. Ask them to check the fit. If it's loose, toss it.
Good point. So let's wrap this up. Our key takeaways.
First, biology. Don't wait for pain. The wisdom teeth are moving before they hurt. Use the OPG to see what's happening early.
Second, economics. That $5,000 broken tooth versus the custom mouth guard, just throw away the boil and bite. It's full security.
And third, psychology. The teen years are fragile. Whether it's fixing a smile to boost confidence or using happy gas to get through a procedure without trauma, the goal is a positive relationship with health.
It doesn't have to be a battle.
It really, really doesn't.
Before we sign off, I want to leave you with one final thought. We spent a lot of time on that cheap chemist mouthguard, but I want you to think about safety equipment in a broader sense.
Okay, where are you going with this?
Well, think about a seatbelt. If a seatbelt was so uncomfortable that it choked you and you had to hold it in place with your hand while you drove, would you wear it?
No. I'd take it off. It would be dangerous.
Exactly. And that is the boil and bite mouthguard. We call it safety equipment, but if it's so annoying that the kid takes it out, it's not safety equipment. It's a distraction. And in sports, distraction is the fastest way to get injured.
That's a profound point. The best safety gear is the gear you forget you're even wearing.
Something to chew on, literally.
Indeed.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive, and a huge thank you to the team at my gentle dentist, Arana Hills, for the source material. We hope this makes those tumultuous teen years just a little bit smoother.
Keep smiling, everyone.
See you next